Continues to fight these big names and continues to come out on top as Poach just got sniped by Kayun to be eliminated in game 2.
That's Kayun's second elimination, which means 1 point soon for him if he manages the third.
Fails the build.
Drop down.
Uh-oh. He does have medkits. He can survive through the storm, but that's a quick tag down to 70. The battle coming on in. The pump does not connect. He's got to reset for the high ground. He knows it as he looks to build on up. Remote explosives!
Perfect placement in the middle of that. Dremin walks right in it.
And you see the frustration there. Dremin, first elim on the board.
Now, currently there are 2 players with 3 eliminations, Top Boy and Takata, which means a single point apiece for them.
But
Kayun
actually,
has a point
as you mentioned,
prior.
Top Boy just got knocked out. So both players
Takata,
with 3 elims just dropped.
A plethora still with 2. We have 5 players currently alive with 2 eliminations there you see on your board. A lot of them relatively close to the zone, except for Rio, 400 meters away still. He's sitting pretty on HP and shield, but he's going to have to rotate relatively quickly. Might have been the most replaced structure I've seen at the factories there at Loot Lake. We took a look for a second, but Horrify stuck up top, taking a moment. Any seconds he has to pop any heals possible, they're going to go for it. And he tried to place the bounce pad on the way down to prevent any fall damage. Didn't need to. Takes the bounce pad in that situation though. Tries to rotate away. Gets tagged midair as this 1v1 against X is kind of flirting with the edge of the zone. X is going to try and layer up so he can sneak in underneath Horrify, and Tempo is there as well.
And this is a beautiful spot for Tempo. Both these players pushing out of the zone. They've obviously been weakened quite a little bit. He drops Horrify down to just a couple shots left. X and Tempo are both like, hey, I want this. No, this one's mine. As they continue to spray down, Horrify is just in a terrible spot. Tempo not really peeking too much from the other side. Can't drop down this structure as of yet. There it goes. No, it's still locked in.
It looks like it's attached to the 3rd point there. X is hoping to drop Horrify out in the open. Actually, during that, as Horrify was building up, X has had a moment there where he could have, with the shotgun shot, and if Horrify was very low HP, it could have been an elimination already and put him at 2, but it looks like a hesitation caused him to not go for it. And he's going to have to back out of this, I think, 60 seconds. And looking at the potential zone movement here and the chance that there's a 3rd player, if he knew Tempo was there, saying that I need to move away now and secure the safe zone rather than go for this. And nobody that is currently alive is shining with 3 elims yet. There's a lot of players with opportunities. They've used 51 players remaining and moving in past the lake. Very open play here, and he sees that the target in front of him is getting shot from within that brick structure. So kind of a sandwich situation here. He could be the 3rd player here and go for elimination on someone that may be caught off guard. Brandon is the player up top. He's got Unicorn in front of him. He's going to push up, maybe establish himself as basically a neighbor here, seeing we're at the very edge of the zone. You see on the map in the top right, he's going for a gatekeeping situation, watching for people rotating in, and that's why he's sitting up top. He's got the edit active on the triangle so he can look through the structure that is currently established there. Nobody can see him, but he can see everybody.
It's a pretty good spot to be in, especially in a battle royale. A look at Blue T, J Cuddy on the edge of the storm. They'll have to move on in. There are 49 players left, and this zone is getting very, very small. You'd expect the lobby to begin to drop quick, and here's the gatekeeping you mentioned. He's got the edit ready to basically be able to peek on up out of there like whack-a-mole at any moment.
Almost expect an edit and maybe go for a hunting rifle shot on that player that was rotating across the river. Horrify we saw earlier. I almost expected him to go down. This means he rotated out past Tempo, moving towards Loot Lake, trying to go for the safe zone. That's the key right now with 47 remaining.
And we haven't really talked about it a lot today, but you see these players, where they hit these trees, they drop them down to just 50 HP. For the viewers at home who might not realize, what is the thought process behind that if you're a pro player?
So if you finish a tree, the leaves kind of get kicked up in the air. There's an animation that plays that gives away position to these players that are extremely attentive to their surroundings constantly. So you see a tree go down, you know someone is harvesting that area. It's giving player location. That information can be incredible. That one, an easy knockdown because it's built within the structure, so it's not gonna give away too much. Plus, any materials are important. The players will opt to not finish trees very often, just so that they can remain as hidden as possible. Kevy here, 0 Elam sitting inside, well inside the safe zone, watching outside this little window, using the camera angle to look around the corner, not exposing himself, and watching for player rotations, an opportunity to take shots at literally anybody. You see Jamok in the middle of that with popping a med kit, almost no HP remaining. Kevy in the feed, Vape Jesus getting an elimination on Turkey Lips, who we saw go absolutely crazy. Turkey Lips did have 3 elims, though, before he went down. For everybody at home, that is a point secured, so we should feel great about that. And there's still 4 games left after this. He has many chances ahead of him. Blind in the feed getting elimination. Before we cut away to this very wide-angle shot, you can see this shot is so important. You can see how many players are starting to build up around Loot Lake, a very uncommon location for players to favor because it's so exposed. Courage fighting in the water it slows you down, and you have to have that extra floor layer. You see even where Corroz is sitting here, there's nothing built underneath him. If you're on Loot Lake, you've got to use more materials to even build the same established location, and that can be tough, especially in late game situations where building is everything.
Jay Cuddy sprang with the SMG. Ecstatic was so weak, so that's a quick cleanup. Aiden just didn't stick the landing. That is Jay Cuddy's 3rd elim, which will put him with a point on the board. I believe that's 2 so far for him today. Blue T chasing this elim down. Look at how weak he is. He's got him down to just 1 shot. You'd expect Blue T to clean this up, but no, the launch pad to disengage. I think he's going to live to see another day.
I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't pick that double barrel up. There it is.
Look at the loadout.
There
My gosh. 7 minis, a big shield, 3 legendary weapons, and oops, drops them on in. And well, when you got a drum gun from that close and you'd have no shield, you're dead. There's no other way to put it.
I like the comment. Blind, the tracking on his opponent there. Powder went for a jump over the top to try and pull like a jump 180, and Blind, the accuracy during tracking and players that are moving that fast, that close to you, very high sense players, just because the rate at which they have to build the Blind is so accurate.
This is Animal, who's just hoping he can get a mini off or 2. Hysteria is still live. He's already in the next zone as well. 1 elim to his name.
38 remaining is this wide-angle shot in the top right. You can see multiple players engaged already in the modern building over there. You have Hysteria kind of taking a look, gets the elimination on the Animal you see there in the feed.
And that's the right idea. He sees that fight, and he's saying, wait, that guy's probably weak. Let me try to spray this down in hopes he stopped for a second. That player, Bolt Naga, only had 25 HP. Yes, he's not able to finish the elim, but it's the right idea when you try to third-party one of these fights. This is the 3rd elim for Cuddy from earlier on that we did see. Just sprays down with that SMG to put another point on the board.
Just after that as well, moments ago in the feed, Blind securing his 3rd elimination of this game gives him 1 point. He's very close inside the zone, but this is what we've seen. We saw this last game. We're going to see it again. A high player count in a very tight space. The next circle is when things are going to move, so Chaos will unleash in here. You're going to see a lot of players holding hands. Blind getting another elimination that puts him at 4. 1 more is a 2nd point. The stink bombs coming out. These are very common for rooting players out. Competitive players, they don't necessarily use it in an aggressive manner all the time, but it's kind of like a way to track targets. They'll chuck it at structures that maybe someone's hiding inside just to get a location, because you can see the 5 damage numbers pop out. And it's like being able to see through walls almost. But this is Aiden. So when we watch the fall damage in Loot Lake.
There's the live reaction again.
He's got a smile still on his face. He knows there's 4 games left. As we cut to this, I don't know if he saw that somebody's flying literally at the camera, and this is the beginning of the nest. You see players flying out now. And
one big thing I do want to point out: all of our kind of top performers from back in Game 1, they're really not high up here at all on our scoreboard that I'm seeing. So this kind of lead that people had from the first match,
oh my gosh,
might not follow through. How stacked is that side of the zone?
The west side of the circle is a nightmare. We have a couple players that are established away from that, which is fantastic.
Here's the shot on the one side of the zone. Can we try to get that identical shot to the other side of the zone just to see what it's like?
The west side would be perfect. Base Soldier going down to Blind. Blind picking up his 5th elimination. That's 2 points for this game.
Blue T has 6 bounce pads. He can use these to maneuver so easily.
That means he's going to stay up top here. He doesn't have to start building to get away. He's already prepping for a move, moving ahead. There's 5 seconds left. He didn't even start when the zone started. He got ahead of it because he knows positioning early from last game showed to be very important, but other players are going to watch him right there. Getting shot from the side. Not a lot of damage. He still has a ton of shield left. 65 and 95 HP, so he's sitting pretty still. Can take even a heavy sniper rifle shot to the body, and he'll stay alive.
Oh, Jay Cuddy's got no healing. He's just hoping for a 5th elim for another point. I think that's kind of what he's playing around right now. He's going to
throw some rockets in.
Look to push on in as well. Absolute one-shot Blue T. Still with around 160 HP. Looks like Lasius just took down Bolt Naga. You see Joystick getting eliminated in the engagement feed. 25 players left as we've made it into the zone. The quick little look at the picture-in-picture in the top right of just how hectic this truly is.
25 players remaining. Even though he's at 65 shield, popping the full just to get as much as he can. Late game, especially in these hectic moves, these players, that's why we saw a chug jug earlier last game, I believe, from Aiden for only 50 shield. You're not going to have the time to use that during situations like this. Everyone is going to listen for that and push.
Is Blind the only one that is not on the bottom layer? He's in a brilliant position to lay down damage. He's got bounce pad. He's got a bounce pad to fall. He's got rockets still in his inventory. A legendary assault rifle.
Hysteria picking up his second Elam. One more gets him a point and takes tempo is fake. Jesus out. Oh. Jay Cuddy, who was looking for his fifth Elam, gets rocketed.
He's just up in a tower. That's 2 in a row that he's done this with. C9 Blind now at 6 limbs. He could go on a tear to the end of this game, Lupo. No one is contesting him at all.
Right. Look,
he's completely
nobody
safe.
else is as high as he is right now.
And it's so secured. That structure is so secured. He's going to have to move.
Still. The loadout is absolutely amazing. The shot gets at least one midair. Shield pack. Sees another player rotating. This is an opportunity for Blind to just take taps at everybody that's moving, because somebody might be 1 or 2 shots, and he's accurate enough. He can secure the 7th Elam. That'd be 3 points this game alone. There's players right in front of him. I'm surprised he's not taking shots at blue T during a rotation, because he has layers. Even he could defend himself while moving. It looks like there's going to be a challenge. Drops himself down, takes a little bit of fall damage, but it's not enough to change his mindset about this engagement. He can still be aggressive. Gets a shot. The jump shot. The double barrel. So powerful.
And he's back to the high ground. He's not
players,
done yet, folks.
11 players remaining.
He's got more eyes on. The lobby dropping so quickly now. I believe we're down to our top 10 as this is already a 4-point game for Blind. We mentioned yesterday Tyler's had the incredible 6-point performance, the max you can earn from 1 game. Blind trying to do the same here. 8 now remaining. Sean was taken with a quick limb. Blind refreshes his assault rifle ammo. He was down to just 1 clip, and now he has 500.
It's not the only thing in his repertoire, too. The rocket launcher in the previous, 3-4 eliminations for him has been absolutely ridiculous. This amount of structure and how powerful.
No one can contest
the ability to destroy. It's crazy.
Oh, maybe a Portafort can.
Spoke too soon. Looks like somebody with a Portafort pushing up and taking an advantage. The Portafort destroys all the structure that it should. That it will break through. And Blind.
Look at how fast that was. Another Elam coming on in. Blind dropping all the way down. He said, hey, it's a 1v1. This is it. Can Blind win this game with a perfect score? Blind panicking. There it is. A 6-point game for Blind. Game number 3. It is time. The battle bus has launched. Game number 3 is underway. Who will join Landjock and Blind and become $25,000 richer with a victory royale here?
These early engagements, I guarantee you, we're going to see round 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, of Aiden versus Nick Merckx and Tilted Towers. I almost wonder if one of them decides they don't want to face the other again. Maybe Nick Merckx. He's lost both thus far. And I'm going to guarantee you, though, the crowd here wants to see it again. I'd bet you anything in the world. Now, you have in the bottom right there our winner from last round, Cloud9's Blind, an excellent player. Very, very good awareness and ability to track opponents. And we're going to see where he drops versus everybody else flying through that little zone there. The low grav zones, man, those change things up. I feel like you kind of put yourself in an exposed position, but we're going to have a very early 1v1. Blind. Somebody lands up top. The blue SMG, an excellent early game weapon, and the shots coming out, taking it. Blind doesn't have the ability to build those, so he's got to rely on accuracy alone. He's got to go for a reload, and it seems like he lost track. It doesn't matter. Gets the shots and the fast reload.
Ooh. You see, he shakes his head like, that was not a fight I wanted to have. Nate Hill is just on the other side of the hill with a little tack shotgun and shield combo. So
look at the loadout.
Yeah, unless he's able to heal up real quick, Blind, I think, is going to be in a tough spot, as Nate Hill might just push this right away.
Could go for a hunting rifle shot up. Makes me wonder, Blind must not have realized that Nate was over there. There it is. Could go for the hunting rifle. Oh, he doesn't get it. Very close shot, but Nate Hill comes away with that. I think he...
That's what we're talking about, right? He's so low. Nate Hill realizes that. I just got a big shield. I'm at 150 health. I can just push this right away.
You know, we heard the engagement earlier, too,
sure.
So there's no reason not go in on that. Cryo, our coin toss winner from yesterday, can get shots off here at Gray AR. quite a bit of materials for an early game. He's sitting on 13, 12 builds now as he's trying to wall off and rotate away. Looks like he's trying to get a different position. You don't want to repeat the same spot twice. You don't necessarily know if your player, unless you saw them rotate through their weapons, especially somebody like Saf. This is not the first time they've fought each other here. Furico taking a shot, that hunting rifle. Literally, as I was going to say, you don't want to repeat the same spot twice because players might have a hunting rifle. Yep. Or look at Saf. He's got a semi-auto sniper. They can take a very quick shot if they know you're going to come up in the same spot. A crit could mean the difference between 89th right now and making it on maybe to the next circle.
This is Saf's fight. I mean, you have to think top down shotgun, an LMG. He had the top down for the moment.
Low build count, though. Only 5 layers you can put up, and players use those very quickly in 1v1s like this. He's peeking through. You look at him look through the hang at the top. Trying to track his opponent. The trap play potentially goes for it. His opponent backing out inside. There we go. Using those materials as layers. It's like an extra defense. It's almost like a shield. He's going to
he heard a shield tag with those nades. Turns around. There's the quick shot on the Furico.
Good awareness from Saf, knowing his opponent is underneath 100.
He got it. I think it was a headshot. I don't know if he got the elim. We're checking out Aiden right now. We'll update you guys there on that last fight. Aiden now in Tilted getting pushed. Not sure who he's battling right now.
Landjack on the feet, our winner from game 1, gets elimination as well.
That was against Fly Crunch.
Crunch, who has been landing here consistently as well. It's time for a little top down. He's going to go for the shot. Whoa, lasers Crunch on the rotation out and gets his first elimination here in Tilted, but he's not done yet. You know there's more players inside.
So I believe Saf hit the headshot, but it wasn't enough to get the elim. That player was so healthy. Remember the semi-auto sniper. The only of the snipers that doesn't instantly drop the opponent. Yeah, Cryo got dropped HP. To like 10 health.
He hit the headshot. Now he's got to rotate away.
He's looking. He's hunting.
Saf is hunting him down. At this point, probably realizes based on the last few games that he might own this area now, so he can take his time if he's not going to get too aggressive push. Nick Merckx, is this a Nick Merckx versus Aiden in this stairwell yet again?
I don't know. Aiden, the last we saw was at Tacos. Nick, 200 HP, gets tagged. 38 right there. Wondering if he'll pop this slurp. The way that the ramps are being used right now, I'm assuming it is Aiden because Aiden uses them in the same way as kind of a layer defense that quickly edits them.
It's not Aiden
this time.
Who's been landing here consistently as well. Ilchase, actually, I think this is the first time he's come to Tilted. He landed, I believe, Greasy or Salty last game.
Yeah. There's 4 players nearby right here. Aiden's in new building. There's 2 right next to Nick. Oh, that grenade blows up the cover. Nick hears the big tags. Won't push it as of yet. You look at the elim feed, Poach with an elimination. Nick, the quick shots. There's 1 elim for Nick, still at full HP as the crowd gets behind him. Absolutely a fan favorite here in the Fortnite Summer Skirmish. As the Nick Merckx chant begins, Aiden and Nick Merckx are again in the same building. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for round 3. The first 2 games, Aiden eliminated Nick Merckx. Can Nick get vengeance here as Aiden's actually going to fall back?
This is Animal, one of our top performers, I believe, from day 2. He dropped a 10 bomb in a single game.
Sneaking on up, hunting his prey.
For it.
Says, I'm the animal here today, my friend. As he cuts him down, a quick burst.
Back to Tilted. Nick Merckx,
how do we not watch this?
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. This is fantastic.
Like, Static is still the 3rd player in this engagement, and I believe they all know that they're in there. They're watching. They're looking to see who's going to make a move first, maybe catch somebody rotating or not watching out a window. Tilted is very, very, you're exposed. There are so many angles because all the different windows and the positions you can see through them. That's why we've seen Aiden peeking through windows of those builds on the outside, just trying to take shots and use the pillars in the middle as like a separator. It's natural cover. Morgoss. C4 from a 3rd opponent there, gets the shots from above, almost gets the elimination, gets one. Ooh. As Flower from Rogue goes down, Morgoss pushing down, trying to get the double. He sees this player rotating around the outside. He had just been dealing HP damage. There it is. Takata goes down as well, gets 2 eliminations. 1 more means a point. Back in Tilted. Courage. These guys, they're gonna go after each other here. They have to. There's no way. There we go.
There it is again. I mean, this is what it's all about, folks. Nick versus Aiden. Aiden 2, Nick 0 so far in the fights. I know Nick has family here watching, a lot of people this weekend wanting to see how he can perform. This is probably Nick has had such a long competitive history in esports. This is probably the biggest tournament he's ever been in, and here it is, the battle again. We've seen this before. Here it goes, round number 3. Aiden peeking the corner. It's Nick building the ramps. Aiden getting the wall in front, just to trying to make sure he's covered and can have some quick edits on out. There's another close ramp. Expect a quick rotation on it. He's going to
the footsteps. He knows Nick rotated up top.
Yeah. Nick's got the high ground now, and I think he'll kind of reset to the top of this new building. There is still Ecstatic just standing still in the big gray building.
If you don't move, they can't hear you, Jack.
Both these players so healthy in this fight. The last time we saw Aiden versus Nick, it was Nick with only 100 HP. I believe there's a slight health advantage for Aiden at the moment. Probably about 10 HP difference. 14 HP, I think, is exact. But Nick is back in big gray where there is still Ecstatic hiding behind one of these doors.
You notice he hasn't even moved. He's barely turning and not even really weapon swapping. I think Ecstatic at this point knows that both Nick and Aiden are here. He's waiting for this fight to play out. And Nick, you see, he's looking around the corner. He's watching and saw the rotation. He's going to try and get a top-down surprise here. Maybe drop in the shotgun coming out. Shotgun and then swap to the dualies. You can hear him moving around underneath. The audio tracking these players. It's just...
Ecstatic is close by Nick right now. He's like right behind one of these walls. Back over to Poach, though. We've got to show some love to the other players, too. Poach trying to build on up. Still a little bit of a fight. One player just below him right now. Mighty bank. I love this. Banking the frag grenades off the wall. They'll fall right at the bottom of the